Diggs.
Stop disrespecting me. Don't disrespect me. Cardi, how you feeling? Don't disrespect
Cardi, your court look is amazing.
You're amazing, Cardi. I still love you.
Fam, hold on to your seats because today, outside of court, Cardi B made headlines again, but not for the reason she wanted. The cameras were flashing, the questions were flying, and one bold reporter crossed a line. He dared to question Cardi about her rumored pregnancy, throwing Offset's name into the mix, suggesting paternity drama with Stefon Diggs. Cardi didn't laugh. She didn't brush it off. Instead, she snapped, literally throwing a pen at the reporter in a move that stunned everyone around her. Let's wait and watch this clip to see what is going on.
Hey, Cardi, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
Cardi, insiders are claiming that Offset is publicly bragging about getting you pregnant for the 4th time. Do you foresee any paternity issues with Stefon Diggs?
Stop disrespecting me. Don't disrespect me.
Cardi, how you feeling?
Don't disrespect
Cardi,
me.
your court look is amazing.
You're amazing, Cardi. I still love you, even though you just threw some stuff at
I
me.
don't care. You're disrespectful. Don't do that. Do you see women asking those type of questions to me?
No,
She's
ma'am.
a
Women asking
queen.
those questions to me.
It's a legit
Why
question.
do you feel as a man you get to ask me those type of questions? Act like you have some manners.
That's right.
And your mama taught you respect women.
That's right. You
All right,
look
Cardi.
gorgeous, Cardi. Go ahead, Bronx. You was.
And you could thank him. I'm not playing around. I
love
was
you,
very
Cardi.
nice. I was very kind. But you're not gonna.
Cardi, I love you. It's just a question.
Nobody's gonna get that.
Now let's break this down carefully, because this isn't just about a pen. This is about timing, reputation, and a $24 million lawsuit already looming over Cardi's head. The reporter asked if Offset was bragging about getting her pregnant for the 4th time, and whether there might be paternity issues with Stefon Diggs. That's not just disrespect, it's fuel for the fire. Cardi felt cornered, disrespected, and she reacted. But was it the right move? The pen toss might seem small compared to the chaos of Hollywood scandals, but here's the catch. Every move Cardi makes right now is under a microscope. She's still in court battling claims from a security guard who accused her of assault, demanding a jaw-dropping $24 million. And what do the critics say? They're already comparing this pen-throwing moment to that earlier case, using it as so-called proof of her temper. Fans are divided. Some are saying, she's human, she was disrespected, anyone would have snapped. Others, though, are worried. They're pointing out that by lashing out, Cardi may have given her enemies exactly what they wanted, ammunition to paint her as aggressive. And in a courtroom, perception matters almost as much as evidence. And here's the twist. This reporter may not have been acting alone. Word on the street is that there are paid instigators outside the courthouse, waiting for their chance to push Cardi's buttons. The goal? To get her to slip, to make a mistake that can be twisted against her in court. When money, power, and reputations are on the line, believe me, nothing is too far-fetched. Let's rewind for a second. Remember the lawsuit Cardi's fighting right now? It goes all the way back to 2018, when she was pregnant with her first child. A security guard allegedly harassed her on the way to see her doctor. Cardi pushed back as any woman protecting her privacy might, but 5 years later, in 2025, that same woman came forward demanding millions, claiming assault. If that case already feels shaky, this pen-throwing moment could muddy the waters. Offset's name being dragged into this only makes things messier. He's already been vocal about moving on, about not wanting to deal with Cardi's drama, but this reporter put him right back into the spotlight. By saying Offset's bragging about getting her pregnant for the 4th time, it wasn't just a jab at Cardi. It was bait, designed to make her react, and she did. And what about Stefon Diggs? He's in the middle of NFL preparations, with a season ahead that could define his career. The last thing he needs is to be caught in a scandal about paternity, especially when nothing has been confirmed. The NFL is strict about image, and Diggs being linked to chaos outside a courthouse could put unnecessary pressure on him. And on Cardi, too. Fans are already connecting dots. Some say this is a setup. Stir Cardi up, connect her to Offset and Diggs in the same breath, and watch her spiral. Others believe Cardi should have held her ground with words, not actions, because now the headlines are writing themselves. Cardi B assaults reporter with pen. You see how that spins? Suddenly, the $24 million lawsuit doesn't look so isolated anymore. And yet, behind the anger, behind the pen toss, there's a woman under unimaginable pressure. Pregnancy rumors, legal battles, love life in the headlines, career obligations, and now staged triggers designed to break her. Is Cardi B fighting against the media, or is she fighting against a system designed to tear her down? Stay with me, because in Batch 2, we're diving into how this connects back to her 2018 lawsuit, the tactics her enemies may be using against her, and why Offset's name keeps resurfacing in this drama. Let's take a closer look at the lawsuit itself, because that's where the danger really lies. The security guard suing Cardi claims she was assaulted back in 2018, when Cardi was pregnant with her first child. But here's the part that makes fans suspicious. The lawsuit wasn't filed until 2025, nearly 5 years later. Why wait that long? Why bring it up now, when Cardi is at her peak, with a new album rollout and a possible pregnancy dominating headlines? Timing, fam, is everything. Critics say the case smells like a cash grab, plain and simple. Yet in the world of courts and lawyers, perception is powerful. Cardi has always been fiery, outspoken, and unapologetic. While those traits made her a superstar in court, they can be spun as aggression or recklessness. That's why this pen-throwing moment is so dangerous. It feeds directly into the image her accuser is trying to sell. Think about it. A reporter makes a disrespectful comment, Cardi lashes out, and suddenly headlines scream, "Cardi B throws object at journalist." To a jury, even if it's just a pen, it paints a picture. And that's what her accuser's lawyers are praying for, a narrative where Cardi looks like the aggressor, not the victim. But here's where the story gets even messier. Offset's name being dragged into the conversation. The reporter claimed Offset has been bragging about getting Cardi pregnant for the 4th time. Whether that's true or not, it's designed to sting. Remember, Offset and Cardi's relationship has been rocky for years. Infidelity rumors, separations, reconciliations. Bringing him up in this moment wasn't just a cheap shot, it was psychological warfare. And let's not ignore the bigger implication. By throwing Offset into the question and adding Stefon Diggs' name, the reporter essentially accused Cardi of juggling 2 men, creating confusion around paternity. That's a bold and inflammatory suggestion, one that could damage not just Cardi's image, but her relationships too. In an era where everything goes viral, this kind of bait can have devastating consequences. Some fans online are already crying foul, saying Cardi was set up. They believe reporters are being paid to rattle her, to provoke her into snapping so her accuser's case looks stronger. And if that's true, then every step outside the courthouse is a trap, every microphone a weapon, every question a landmine waiting to explode. Now let's flip the perspective for a moment. Put yourself in Cardi's shoes. You're walking out of court, drained, stressed, facing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. You've got cameras in your face, reporters shouting questions about your body, your ex, and your new man. You're tired, emotional, and protective of your privacy. Wouldn't you be tempted to snap too? The pen toss wasn't just anger. It was exhaustion boiling over. Still, the reality is this. Cardi can't afford mistakes right now. Every action is evidence. Every slip-up is magnified. Her lawyers are likely scrambling right now to downplay the incident, while her critics are rushing to spin it as proof that Cardi can't control herself. This isn't just about one court case anymore. It's about shaping Cardi's entire public persona in 2025. And Offset? His name keeps surfacing, whether he wants it to or not. He's become the shadow in Cardi's storyline, always lurking in the background, always giving critics an easy angle. Fans are even asking if Offset himself might be fueling these rumors behind the scenes, whispering to the media just to stir trouble. It's speculation, sure, but in a world of celebrity scandal, nothing feels impossible. But here's the question we all have to ask. Is Cardi B fighting a fair battle, or is she being set up to lose? Because when paid reporters are outside, dragging her past and her present into one ugly spotlight, it feels less like journalism and more like sabotage. And in Batch 3, we'll dive into why Stefon Diggs is now caught in the crossfire, how his NFL career could be threatened by this drama, and why fans say Cardi might be walking into the biggest trap of her life. And just when you thought this couldn't get more chaotic, here comes Stefon Diggs. Yes, the NFL star who's already in headlines for his on-field dominance is now being dragged into Cardi B's personal storm. Reporters aren't just whispering his name. They're hurling it into the spotlight, framing him as a central piece in this pregnancy puzzle. And the worst part? He didn't ask for any of this. Stefon Diggs is weeks away from one of the most important stretches of his NFL career. His team is preparing for a make-or-break season, and every ounce of focus matters. But instead of game plans and practice drills, he's watching his name trend on gossip blogs and social media, tied to questions of paternity, scandal, and Cardi B's courtroom battles. That's not just distracting, it's potentially damaging to his brand. Remember, the NFL is ruthless about image. Players have been suspended, fined, or even released for controversies that had nothing to do with football. By linking Diggs to Cardi's alleged pregnancy, the media is putting his career under a microscope. It's not fair, but in the business of professional sports, perception often becomes reality. And fans are asking the big question, is Stefon Diggs ready for this level of attention? Being rumored as Cardi B's new man isn't like dating someone low profile. Cardi comes with paparazzi, lawsuits, court drama, and non-stop media coverage. This isn't just a relationship. It's a collision course with chaos, and some fans are already warning him, run while you can. Yet others are pointing out that Diggs himself has played into the speculation. From cryptic social media posts to sightings with Cardi, he hasn't exactly stayed in the shadows. Some believe he enjoys the attention, while others think he's underestimating how quickly this could spiral out of control. Because once the media paints you as part of Cardi B's drama, good luck shaking that image off. But let's not forget the bigger picture. Cardi's opponents love this. The more her name is tied to controversy, the easier it is for them to argue she's unstable or reckless. If Stefon Diggs' name becomes a centerpiece of the narrative, it adds fuel to the fire. Suddenly, this isn't just Cardi versus a security guard in court. It's Cardi, Offset, Diggs, and a full-blown circus. And what about Offset? Oh, you better believe he's watching this play out with a smirk. Reports already claim he's bragging about getting Cardi pregnant for the 4th time, mocking her and calling it a tight season. Whether true or not, his words cut deep. Offset thrives on attention, and if his ex-wife is being tied to another man, especially an NFL star, you can bet he'll use it to his advantage. This love triangle narrative, Cardi, Offset, Diggs, may not even be real, but perception is powerful. Social media doesn't care about facts. It cares about drama. And in 2025, drama spreads faster than truth. Cardi B throwing a pen becomes proof of anger issues. Stefon Diggs being seen with her becomes paternity speculation. Offset's comments become confirmation. It's all smoke, but to the public, smoke looks a lot like fire. The real danger: this circus could overshadow Cardi's career. Remember, she's gearing up to drop her long-awaited album, Am I the Drama? This should be her triumphant return to music, her big cultural reset. Instead, she's being painted as the star of a scandal soap opera. And if the narrative doesn't shift soon, the album rollout could collapse under the weight of controversy. But hold on, because in Batch 4, we're going to unpack the fan reactions, the shocking split in public opinion, and why some people are accusing Cardi's entire legal team of dropping the ball. Is Cardi being poorly advised, or is this all part of a bigger media game to keep her trending no matter what? Stick around, because the answers will leave you questioning everything. The internet never sleeps, and when Cardi B threw that pen, social media exploded within seconds. Clips circulated on TikTok, Twitter, X, and Instagram Reels. Hashtags like #CardiPenthrow and #CourtDrama went viral, sparking heated debates. The world wasn't just watching a rapper walk out of court. They were dissecting every angle, frame, and facial expression of that one impulsive move. And here's where things get wild. Fans are divided straight down the middle. On one side, you've got die-hard Cardi supporters defending her at every turn. They argue that she's being unfairly baited, harassed, and provoked by reporters who know exactly how to push her buttons. To them, the pen throw wasn't violence. It was a clapback, a warning shot, a message to the press. Respect my boundaries. On the other side, critics are pouncing on this moment like lions in the savannah. They're saying Cardi just handed her enemies ammunition on a silver platter. If you're already in court fighting accusations of assault, why in the world would you throw something at a reporter? Cameras rolling, microphones hot, and the whole world watching. To them, this was proof of the very behavior she's trying to deny. Fans aren't just arguing, they're clashing. Twitter threads turned into battlegrounds. Some are posting memes of the pen flying through the air with captions like Exhibit A, mocking the situation. Others are splicing together old clips of Cardi losing her temper, painting a narrative of a star with uncontrollable anger issues. The longer this drags on, the more her image is at risk. And then there's the group of fans who aren't picking sides. They're just worried. Worried about Cardi's mental state, worried about the stress of court, pregnancy rumors, Offset's taunts, and now Diggs' name being dragged into the mud. These fans are saying, Cardi needs to unplug, focus on her music, and stop letting the outside world trigger her. But is that even possible when you live under a microscope? The ripple effect is massive. Even mainstream media outlets that usually cover music and fashion
This
are
is
now
why Cardi
publishing
didn't
op-eds
settle,
about
though.
Cardi's behavior.
Because if you pay one
Some are
like,
calling it a pattern, while others argue it's character assassination. Once again, the court of public opinion is running on overdrive, and Cardi's real trial might pale in comparison to the trial being held online every single day. But here's the question that no one wants to answer. Is Cardi getting bad advice from her legal team? Some analysts think so. They argue her lawyers should have prepped her better for dealing with hostile reporters. Others believe her PR team is asleep at the wheel, letting her walk out of court unprotected, unfiltered, and unprepared for the media ambush. Could this all have been avoided with the right strategy? Many say yes. Meanwhile, fans are drawing dangerous comparisons. They're saying Cardi's pen throw mirrors the original 2018 incident with the security girl, the very incident that's at the heart of this $24 million lawsuit. It doesn't matter if the situations are different. To the haters, it looks like a pattern. And patterns are powerful weapons in both courtrooms and public opinion. But then, there's the flip side. Cardi has built her brand on being raw, real, and unfiltered. Fans love her because she doesn't play by the rules. She's not polished like some pop stars. She's messy, unpredictable, and human. Could this pen-throwing incident actually reinforce her image instead of destroying it? Some marketing experts say yes. That controversy keeps her name alive. And in entertainment, being talked about is better than being forgotten. Offset has always been unpredictable, but in this latest scandal, he's become the ultimate instigator. Every cryptic post, every smug comment, every sly smirk during interviews, it's all part of his playbook. Fans say he's not just watching Cardi spiral, he's pushing her buttons from a distance, laughing as the world debates her every move. And when the media asks about her pregnancy, Offset's sharp words cut deeper than any headline. His infamous line about tight seasons and old news is being interpreted as a declaration. Cardi is in his rearview mirror. Yet at the same time, rumors of paternity swirl, making his words even more loaded. Some fans think Offset is trying to undermine Stefon Diggs by suggesting Cardi still belongs to him. Others believe he's just bitter that Cardi has moved on, and this is his way of clinging to relevance. Either way, he's winning the narrative war, at least online. But here's where it gets even messier. Stefon Diggs' silence. The NFL star has said nothing, posted nothing, and kept his head down while the storm rages on. Some see that as wisdom. Why feed the media beast when it's already out of control? But others argue that his silence makes him look guilty, as if he's hiding from the truth. In the world of celebrity gossip, silence is never neutral. It's always interpreted. And for Cardi, that silence is deafening. If Diggs is truly her partner, shouldn't he be defending her? Shouldn't he be stepping up against Offset's taunts? Or at least setting the record straight? The fact that he hasn't is leaving fans uneasy, sparking speculation that maybe he's not as committed as Cardi thinks. Some are even whispering that Diggs is just waiting for the season to start, so he can quietly distance himself from the chaos. Meanwhile, Cardi's career is dangling in the balance. Her album, Am I the Drama, should be the biggest headline of 2025, but right now it's being overshadowed by courtroom scandals, pregnancy rumors, and pen-throwing incidents. Record labels and sponsors don't care about gossip. They care about image. And if Cardi's brand becomes too toxic, opportunities could start drying up fast. But here's the thing about Cardi B. She's a fighter. Time and time again, she's faced setbacks, scandals, and betrayals, only to come back stronger. Her fans call her the people's champion for a reason. When life drags her down, she turns it into art, into music, into viral moments that keep her on top. Could this pen-throwing saga be just another chapter in the story of a star who refuses to be silenced? Still, the risks are undeniable. The $24 million lawsuit looms large. The media vultures outside the courthouse aren't going anywhere. Offset isn't backing down, and Diggs's silence could become a liability. Cardi's next move will be the most important of her career, because one wrong step could cost her not just money, but the public's trust. And in the celebrity world, trust is everything. Fans are praying for her, tweeting hashtags like #StandWithCardi and #ProtectCardiB. But even her biggest supporters admit she needs discipline now more than ever. She can't afford to let her emotions guide her actions. Not when every camera is ready to twist her words, every reporter is waiting for another slip, and every rival is hoping she falls. The question hanging in the air is simple yet devastating. Will Cardi B rise above this storm, or will she become her own worst enemy? Her story is still unfolding, and the world is glued to every twist and turn. Whether you love her or hate her, one thing is undeniable. Cardi B remains the most unpredictable, magnetic figure in music today. And as we close this chapter, the spotlight doesn't fade. It only grows brighter. Cardi's next court date, Diggs' NFL kickoff, Offset's next jab, every piece adds to the puzzle. So stay tuned, because in this saga, the drama never ends. Cardi herself asked the question, "Am I the drama?" Well, after everything we've seen, the answer might just be yes.